by saying if you're still working on the MSQ, please do follow the MSQ still, because it does offer a lot of great experience. So if this is your first time, feel free to go ahead and just enjoy the game and follow the MSQ. The first level range that we're going to be looking at today is level 1 through 15. Now, it's not going to be epic, it's not going to be glorious, but grinding out fates and killing monsters for your hunting log is the way to quickly get to 15. Now, you can run from fate to fate in these starting areas, and you're awarded a nice chunk of experience for completing each fate. Just open up your map to see which fates are available to you, and be sure not to attempt fates that are too high level, as the rewards and EXP that you get will be reduced if the fate is higher than your combat job's level. You can also get a nice chunk of experience by killing monsters marked with this icon. You get the ability to open your hunting log after completing your level 5 job quest, which allows you to see what monsters you need to kill, where they're located, and how much experience that you'll get for killing the designated amount. Now, my preferred path for grinding fates is to start in Western Thanalan, go until level 10, and then you can move over to Western Lenosha from 10 to 15. And then I also supplement my hunting log when I see these icons on any mobs in those areas. Moving on to levels 16 through 30, we're looking at Palace of the Dead. Now, Palace of the Dead is the first of the deep dungeons added to Final Fantasy XIV. It's 4-man content that you can queue for. Now, if you need to unlock Palace of the Dead, just head over to New Gridania and begin the quest, The House That Death Built, by speaking with Nojiro. I'll link this in the description. Now, DPS will always find Palace of the Dead viable because of their longer queue times. For tanks and healers, this level range is where dungeon grinding becomes extremely lucrative for you. Due to your relatively quick queues, selecting the highest level dungeon that you can run and then running them back to back is the quickest way to power through this level range. Now, if you get bored of dungeons, you can always opt to grind fates or do Palace of the Dead. Now, this will result in less experience per hour, but it does help to break up the back-to-back dungeon runs. Now, if you're a DPS player that decides to queue up for roulettes or dungeons, be sure to grind on fates in the appropriate zones to maximize your EXP gain per hour. Your hunting log is also great experience for this level range when you don't have much time, but you need a quick objective to reward some experience. Now, for levels 31 through 60, as I mentioned in the previous range, Palace of the Dead is still a viable source of experience to level up. Now, you will start to see diminishing returns on experience around level 50, so this would be a good time to look into other avenues of EXP gain. Squadron command missions are also great experience for this level, primarily if you're a DPS player and have them unlocked. Now, squadrons are unlocked at your respective Grand Company when completing the quest Squadron and Commander, and you have to be 2nd Lieutenant or higher with one combat job at least at level 47. Now, they effectively allow you to run dungeons with your AI squadron at rank 2 or higher, and can give DPS a way to quickly queue in these dungeons and level up. Now, command missions cover dungeons from levels 20 to 60. The AI squadron members aren't as powerful as actual players, but this can definitely be an answer to dungeon runs as a DPS if queues are just a little bit too high for you. It might just result in less EXP per hour due to the AI players. So let's talk about duty roulettes. Now, roulettes are also a staple of this level range and all level ranges here on after. Now, make sure that you're completing the roulettes available to you each day so that you maximize your overall experience gain. Now, I'm going to recommend saving the roulettes for the even levels if you're planning on dungeon spamming at odd levels, as this is going to further make sure that you're earning EXP as efficiently as possible. Now, completing these roulettes each day is also going to contribute to your weekly challenge log that's going to reward you with a large amount of additional experience every single week. Now, in terms of experience gain, I'm going to give you the best roulettes to do each day. First and foremost on our list of best duty roulettes is the MSQ. So turn on Netflix and grab some popcorn because there are some long cutscenes that you can't skip in here. However, you are rewarded with the highest overall experience amount from any other duty roulette. Now this is unlocked at level 50 after you have completed Castrum and the Praetorium, and you will have to have an eye level of 42 or higher. And next up on the list, we have Alliance Raids. Now these are usually done very fast, especially at the lower levels. Now they're 24-man raids that give a decent chunk of experience. So be sure to unlock your Alliance Raids via side quests at level 50, 60, 70, and 80. Now to unlock these, you will need to be at least level 50 and have completed 2 Alliance Raids via their respective side quests. Next up, we have Leveling Roulette. Basically, this is just a dungeon run with 3 other people. It's going to place you in a random dungeon that you have unlocked and scale your level down accordingly if needed. Now, this unlocks automatically at level 16. Next up, we have the 50, 60, 70 roulette. Now, this will put the player into a random level 50, 60, or 70 dungeon with 3 other players. This roulette requires unlocking a minimum of 2 of the included dungeons, and players must also have an average item level of 45 or greater, and it does offer a moderate amount of experience. Normal raids are 8-man boss raids, and generally they are pretty quick to complete, usually under 10 minutes. Now starting at level 60, you can actually unlock this roulette after completing a side quest that unlocks the raids. And last up we have Trials. These are quick boss fights. They're usually centered around beating up on a primal, and who doesn't want to do that? Now, experience gain isn't huge, but if you want to get a quick clear, it really contributes to your overall EXP gain. At level 61, we can access Stormblood expansion's deep dungeon called Heaven on High. While largely remaining the same as Palace of the Dead, there are some minor differences that I will cover in a later video. Basically, Heaven on High becomes the new Palace of the Dead, and it can offer some fantastic experience and also some great rewards as well. Now, Heaven on High can be unlocked by completing the Knocking on Heaven's Door quest in the Ruby Sea, which I will link in the description below. You'll also want to continue on with the tried and true formula of dungeon grinding on odd levels if you're a tank or healer, while also supplementing in your daily roulettes. Now DPS, you can expect a lengthy queue time if you're going for dungeons, but if you're queuing for Heaven on High, it's actually fairly quick. Now probably the most overlooked option in this level range is Chloe's Wondrous Tales. This actually rewards you for doing content that you're probably going to be doing anyway. Now you unlock it at level 60, and it is a weekly that you unlock in Idleshire by talking to Chloe and completing the Keeping Up with the Aaliyah Pose quest. Now you basically get a sticker book, there are set dungeons, trials, and raids for you to complete, and then you hand it in once you have 9 seals. Now depending on how many lines that you match in the book, you'll get a big boost of experience and potentially some nice rewards as well. The Wondrous Tales book actually allows you to reset some of the completed dungeons, trials, and raids as well, giving you more chances to match up and get bigger experience rewards. 71 through 80. This is the final stretch. Now we'll continue on with running dungeons on odd combat levels while running roulettes on even levels. Now if you're a DPS, running fates in level appropriate Shadowbringer zones is a good idea, as there are vendors and a separate currency tied to the completion of fates in each area. You'll also be earning experience while waiting around. At level 71, you can also gain access to the Bozjan Southern Front. This is unlocked by completing the Where Eagles Nest quest in Gangos. I'll go ahead and link this below for you. Now, the Bozjan Southern Front has a separate leveling system called Resistance Rank, and it's a crucial part to level up inside the zone if you ever plan on obtaining your Shadowbringer's relic weapon. It's essentially a grouping of 3 different areas that have fates of varying difficulty that spawn all over the map. The Bozjan Southern Front also has critical engagements, which are essentially boss fights that anyone in the area can queue up for. Now, this is a great way to level up, and the experience is good, but you also have the benefit of additional rewards and progressing content that will help you later on, so that is a huge plus. Now, there's also a normal and savage raid locked behind leveling up your resistance rank. Congratulations, you should now be level 80 on your combat job and ready to start gearing up and tackling the hardest content in the game. Now, to truly maximize your experience potential, there are items, buffs, gear, and some pro tips that can contribute to your overall EXP gain. So let's take a look at that in more detail. You can gain rested experience by logging out in a sanctuary, which is any area that has an aetheryte that you can attune to and teleport to later. Such sanctuaries include city-states like New Gridania, Limsa Laminsa, Ul'dah, as well as any aetheryte in the field that you can teleport to. Now, sanctuary status is indicated by a crescent moon symbol to the right of your experience bar, and it does offer a 50% experience bonus. You can also obtain an experience buff just by eating food in the game. Now, food will always give you a 3% experience bonus, but it also provides a buff to your stats, so having some on hand for that extra 3% is never a bad idea. You'll also want to consider joining a free company or FC, as they typically always run experience buffs for their members. Now, depending on the rank of the FC, they have the ability to put buffs up that will increase your experience by 5, 10, and 15% if they have access to rank 3 buffs. Now we have the unique armory bonus. Now, this is an invisible buff that you can't actually see. Now, the way that the armory bonus works is it's going to award your lower level combat jobs with additional experience points, as long as it's not your highest level job. So from level 1 through 69, you will receive an additional 100% experience for any of those jobs lower than your highest level job. Now at level 70, this bonus does decrease to only 50%. Now, the amount of experience granted has nothing to do with the distance in levels from your highest job. And last on our list, we have Menfina's Earring. Now, this is an accessory that is item level 430, and what's neat about it is you can equip it at level 1 and it will continually scale with you all the way up until level 80. Now, this is going to give you an EXP increase of 30% when you're level 80 or below, and this one is only available to those who purchase the pre-order of the Endwalker expansion. That's it, you're now officially a master of experience points. Now, I hope you will find this video helpful and maybe you even learned a few things. So let me know what you think in the comments below and tell me all about your leveling stories as well. I will have a list of helpful links at the bottom that will cover some of the areas and resources that were discussed in this video. So until next time, I'm Relms, and may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.